Nobody does it Bennett. Yes, I've gone and said it. Movies and games, some things that are lame. Nobody does it Bennett. Meh.
Good evening and welcome. There are some superb movies ahead on Movie Review Universe. Next time, we'll join Daniel Radcliffe as he starts a new school and casts a few spells in the 2001 film Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Right now though, it's time for Batman Returns. Hello and welcome to Nobody Does It Bennett, Movie Review Universe, otherwise known as the MRU. I am your host, The Greg Bennett Experience, and tonight I'm here with Jeff as we go through the movie Batman Returns from 1992. Jeff, welcome back to the show. It has been a while.
It really has. I feel like I've been left out.
Punisher was the last time we did, and that was in September last year.
Exactly. That's a long time. That's a long time for the fans to wait for this man.
It came out in October though, I believe. So Jeff, I had you back for the 1 year anniversary of Nobody Does It Bennett. So when this comes out, it will be actually the 1 year anniversary of the podcast.
Excellent.
Came out May 14th, 2021 with Batman 89.
Ah, yes, I remember that.
So why not have the year anniversary?
I was there, you were there.
We're all there. So why not have the year anniversary with another Batman film, Batman Returns?
Wait a second, isn't that the sequel to the other one?
It could be.
Ooh.
We'll find out. I haven't actually gone through the movie yet. Spoiler alert, it might be a sequel.
Uh-oh.
So, Jeff, what are your general thoughts about Batman Returns, Catwoman and Penguin in particular?
Rewatching it, I just don't know if that movie would fly today, just with how badly they treat Selena Kyle. Like, it's quite disgusting, to be honest. You can have characters like that without basically just stepping all over them.
Yeah, when I talked about the first Batman, I talked about how the mistreatment of women was an understated thing where it seemed like it was almost saying that this is how you should treat women. Batman Returns, I don't think does that.
I think it does.
It does it in a
With
way...
Selena Kyle, so bad.
Yeah, but it does it in a way, I believe, that it's pointing out just the mistreatment of women, how bad it is. Like, this movie goes over the top with it, like, just how bad the men are towards her. I like the fact that it is pointed out. It does come across maybe as a little too strong, but I understand what Tim Burton, I think, was going for. He's going for, this woman's been so mistreated that you almost want her to win. You don't care that she kills Max and stuff towards the end, because she's just been treated like dirt, and she deserves better.
Yeah, she definitely does, yeah.
Batman Returns is an interesting one for me. Although it's the second Batman film in the series, it feels fresher than Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Probably due to the fact that I wasn't allowed to watch this until my teenage years, so I watched Batman and Robin and Batman Forever before I saw Batman and Batman Returns. But even watching it, it feels like a fresher take than the other two, because the other two seem like it's more based on the 60s.
More campy.
Yeah. Well, this one does have that kind of little bit camp to it. It just feels like it's more in line with what the present day Batman is. Batman Returns was released a few months before the Batman the Animated Series. Were you aware of that?
No.
Returns released June 1992, and the animated series debuted in September 1992.
Ooh.
In fact, Jeff, this year is the 30-year anniversary of both Batman Returns and Batman the Animated Series.
Ooh. Are you going to cover the animated series as well?
Well, I can't. It's a TV show. I don't do TV shows on Movie Review Universe. So that's why I'm bringing it up here. So people know that, hey, I've referenced Batman the Animated Series. I'm aware it's the 30-year anniversary, and I do deeply love that TV show.
Yep, me too.
Well, I guess we could actually do it because we could do Mask of the Phantasm.
True.
So there you go. An idea. Maybe down the track we look at Mask of the Phantasm as the Batman the Animated Series Movie Review Universe. Here we go. We can play all the characters again.
And again, and again. From different angles.
I think I might have referenced that joke in this. If you like what you hear or have a question for us, who knows, it might be about Batman Returns. Well, You can contact us through the Nobody Does It Bennett Facebook page or by hitting us up on the Twitter at NobodyDIBennett. You can also email us at nobodydoesitbennett@outlook.com. That's a Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's. Nobody Does It Bennett is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. You can also find it on the website, nobodydoesitbennett.buzzsprout.com. Right, Jeff, are you ready to return to Gotham City?
I actually am, yes.
I might bring this up a few times too, but I'll say it now anyway. I love the Batmobile so much. Get ready for how many times I say it. Ladies and gentlemen, Batman Returns from 1992.
Alfred, nobody does it, Bennett.
Movie starts with a shot of Cobblepot Mansion. You see Mr. Cobblepot smoking a cigarette like the classic Penguin character in the comics in the 1966 Adam West series. Mr. Cobblepot is played by Pee Wee Herman actor himself, Paul Reubens. Tim Burton's first feature-length debut was actually Pee Wee's Big Adventure. That's how he knows Paul Reubens.
That movie was a creepy movie.
I haven't seen it in years, but I want to go back and watch it. I think it could be hilarious still. It was good, but I have good memories of Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. Save that for another podcast, eh?
Well, Ninja Turtle podcast with Ross and the Ninja Turtles live action one, they actually do that, use their music for that. So we mentioned Pee Wee's again. So Pee Wee's been brought back up. But yeah, it was cool to see Paul Reubens in a non-Pee Wee role.
Yeah. And a kind of a darker role too, really.
Well, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, Paul Reubens plays a vampire in that as well.
That would have been weird to see.
I'm gonna eat you now.
My bite! Get it? Yeah.
Ugh.
Mrs. Cobblepot is screaming as she is in labour. After the baby is born, you can tell from the baby cries. The nurse and the doctor run from the room while Mr. Cobblepot runs in. You can hear Mr. Cobblepot yell in anguish, "Oh God! Ah!" Cut to a shot of both Mr. and Mrs. Cobblepot looking out the window, then looking back to a dark cage box, which their young deformed son is in.
So messed up.
This is really messed up. The family cat gets too close, so the infant son grabs it and eats it.
Yep.
Oh, I don't like animals getting hurt.
Nope.
It rubs me the wrong way. Mr. and Mrs. Cobblepot look at each other, then drink their martinis. Cut to Mr. and Mrs. Cobblepot running through a snowy Gotham park at night with a stroller. They come to a bridge. They throw the bassinet that was in the stroller off the bridge and watch it float into a sewer line.
Yeah, messed up.
Cue the iconic Danny Elfman Batman score. It's actually the animated series.
I know. I can't help it. I love that series so
What
much.
we're looking for is manana, manana. What I love about this one, this version of the Elfman Batman March is my favourite, as it blends a penguin theme in with it as well. You can hear a choir in the background as like some parts of it go through. It's the perfect Batman theme. It really is a masterful piece of music. The bassinet goes through the sewer while the opening credits play out, and the bassinet comes to a stop at a waterway ramp where a group of penguins are. What is a group of penguins called, you might ask, Jeff? In the water, a group of penguins is known as a raft. On land, though, a group of penguins is known as a waddle. The more you know.
The less you want to know.
The penguin is born. Gotham City, 33 years later. The whole movie takes place at Christmas time, so yes, I am in the camp who believes that Batman Returns is a Christmas film. Newsboy yells out about the story of a penguin man living in the sewers, as you can see crowds on the snowy streets shopping for Christmas. You get your first look at Shrek's department store and a giant Christmas tree. The lighting ceremony for the tree is about to begin. You can see these giant statues next to the tree of these buff-looking dudes cranking levers back.
Buff-looking dudes.
Yeah, like if you look at it, it's just so big statues of some buff guys pulling back levers. Like, this reminds me of the start of like Batman Forever, where it starts to show you those big gothic kind of statues. Could I have your attention, Gotham City? It is time for tonight's lighting of the tree. She's like a real dipsy blonde, that's why I had to go with it.
If any woman out there wants to make a complaint, write into Nobody Does It Bennett at outlook.com.
They play her off as that. It's just a real airhead, so I had to kind of embrace the role. The tree lighting woman pushes a giant button that activates the lights on the tree. You can see two hand flippers grab some vent bars from the sewer below. Alfred is walking above the streets above. Alfred is walking above the streets above. Alfred is walking on the streets above. Michael Goff is so good as Alfred.
Yeah.
I've actually added in pretty much all his lines just because I wanted to have Alfred in there. I love him. He's great. The newsboys.
Havoc and what's his name?
Yeah, well, Havoc and Newsboy. Yeah, Jeremy
Yeah.
Wells was his name. The newsboy tries to sell Alfred on the Penguin Man story.
My dear boy, sometimes it's a diversion to read such rubbish. Most of the time, it's a waste of time.
As Alfred is walking along, he stops and looks into the sewer below, as he thinks he may have seen something. Cut to the conference room / Mac's office at Shrek's department store. I do like the Felix the Cat type mascot the company has.
Yeah.
It looks really cool on the top of the building too, almost like the Daily Planet globe. Max is talking to the mayor and associates while Max's assistant Selena goes around the room with coffee. Max is discussing his plans to build a new power plant. Max is going to need permits, variances, tax incentives. It's crazy how much power Max Shrek has. I mean, he's the owner of a department store, yet he's like a mafia boss who wants to run the whole city. It's like, this guy like runs a farmers.
Yeah.
If you're here for New Zealand here, he's the head of farmers and now he runs the country or the city as well. The mayor doesn't think Gotham needs a new power plant. Gotham already has enough power.
Imagine a Gotham City of the future, lit up like a blanket of stars, but blinking on and off, embarrassingly low on juice. Frankly, I cringe, Mr. Mayor.
Sorry, any plans you got will have to go through the usual committees, through the usual channels. I have a suggestion. All the men in the room turn and look at Selena in complete shock that a woman might think she has a suggestion.
Oh, God.
Well, actually, really, just more like a question.
I'm afraid we haven't properly housebroken Miss Kyle. Oh my God, this is so wrong.
The men in the room laugh. The men are like, oh, that's a great joke. It's not, though.
It's really not.
No.
And to be honest with you, even though I was pretty young at the time, even then I did not think this was a good joke.
No.
In the plus column, though, she makes a hell of a cup of coffee. You jackass.
The mayor and co all laugh again. What a great joke. No, it's not. I do like how Tim Burton doesn't shy away from this arrogant, chauvinistic approach to the businessmen in this scene. Makes you dislike them all straight away.
Yep.
It also makes you root for Selena and helps you sympathize with her even when she starts to go down a darker path.
Yeah. Well, she was very clever with when she caused that explosion, there was nobody around. She made sure of it too.
Is trying to kind of lash out because of everything that's happened in her life. And you really do feel for her there. And Michelle Pfeiffer's performance is incredible. This is still by far my favourite Catwoman in anything ever because...
Oh, come on now.
I know, Halle Berry's pretty close in second. Yeah.
She's great, man.
But this version of Catwoman hasn't been done in anything else where she's actually Catwoman because it's almost a mental disorder. She's just snapped and had enough and had a nervous breakdown and obviously got thrown out of the roof. But this one, she's damaged. Rather, every other version of Catwoman, she's just a thief that just takes and likes to kind of like hang out with Batman. This one is mentally damaged to the point where she doesn't know who she is anymore. I think Michelle Pfeiffer plays it perfectly. Max, the mayor, and his associates join Max's son, Chip, which is a terrible name, down to the Chip
Shrek?
Chip Shrek, yeah.
Ugh.
Down to the Christmas...
What a shipwreck.
Yeah. He's like a chip off his old shoulder, you know?
Yeah.
Down to the Christmas lighting ceremony as they're all going to give speeches. Selena is left in the room. Actually, more of a question. You stupid corn dog. Oh, God, corn dog.
She likes her corn dogs.
Cut to Max and the boys down outside on the street. The Shrek cat clock is cool. Like the clock that Felix the Cat and his whiskers are the hands on the clock. Chip helps clear a path through the journalists wanting to ask questions. Cut to a silhouette of Penguin walking through the sewer, holding an umbrella. Cut back to the mayor and Max walking through the crowds.
I have enough signatures from Shrek employees alone to warrant a recall. That's not a threat, just simple numbers.
Maybe. But you don't have an issue, Max, and you sure as hell don't have a candidate. The mayor then gets on the microphones and gives a speech, setting up how wonderful a man Max Shrek is. Would you welcome, please, Gotham's own Santa Claus, Max Shrek. Max throws out some presents to the crowd, then goes to grab his notes from his coat pocket. Cut back to Selena in the office. pick up those contracts from personnel and pick up the dry cleaning, the paper towels, and... Hold on.
Forgot my speech. Remind me to take it out on... what's her name?
Max then addresses the crowd through the microphones.
Santa Claus? Afraid not. I'm just a poor schmo. Got lucky, and sue me if I want to give some back. I wish I could hand out world peace and unconditional love, wrapped in a big bow.
Cut to a shot of something watching again from a sewer.
But you can. Oh, but you will.
Cut to a giant present being wheeled out onto the street. Great idea.
Not mine.
Circus people start launching out of the present and start landing on the giant Christmas tree. And people wearing giant skull masks start riding bikes through the present and onto the street.
Beep, beep.
Selena is making her way along the street when she starts to get caught up in the panicked crowd and members of the circus gang driving around on bikes. There's a man with a big-looking music box and a monkey on his shoulder. When he turns the handle, a machine gun pops out and starts firing at Max and others. Commissioner Gordon shows up in the police car. He is on the police radio.
What are you waiting for? The signal.
Cuts to a quiet-looking Wayne Manor. Bruce is sitting in a chair with only the moonlight from a nearby window for light. He doesn't seem to be sleeping or reading, just waiting. The bat signal shows up in the sky, and when it does, these little mechanical bat lights move around into place. The light shines directly through the window of the chair that Bruce is sitting in. He gets up out of the chair, and when he does, you can see the light in the room is one giant bat logo.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I love it, even if it seems entirely unpractical for everyday use.
Especially if you're like having a meal with somebody and all of a sudden, pew!
I don't know what's happening there. Must be some reflection from the moon. The moon's reflective? Yes.
Yes, shut up.
The circus gang want the big guy, the one who runs the show. The mayor asks them what they want. But they don't want the mayor. They want Max Schreck. Chip says they'll have to go through him to get to his dad. They all stick blades and Uzis up to Chip's face. But to Chip's credit, he doesn't step down. I thought he was going to run away, but he doesn't. He stands his ground and tells his dad to get out of there. Max, the coward that he is, runs away. Cut to a shot of the Batmobile driving along a wet Gotham road. Jeff, have I told you about how much I love the Batmobile?
Oh,
So good.
I'm out.
Max runs through the street as Penguin prepares below. There is a man blowing fire into shops, causing them to burn. Max scurries away just as the Batmobile shows up. Batman uses metal side paddles to knock down stilted fire jugglers, and other paddles to knock down the motorcyclists. I love the menacing, pissed off expressions on Batman's face. He looks so good in the suit. Just that shot, he ain't messing around kind of look at his face, and I love it. Yep. The picture quality in this film is astoundingly good, really rich in detail and crystal clear. Definitely a movie to own on 4K for picture quality alone.
Yeah, definitely.
It is on a backlot, so that's why it always looks like they're going through the same streets, because they are.
Yeah.
But with the backlot, you can control how it looks, and you don't have to worry about weather conditions and stuff like that, so it looks beautiful. Two circus clowns jump into the hood of Batman's car. Batman speeds up while they try and shoot him through the windshield. Batman eventually stops, which sends the two clowns into a nearby building.
And that's why they're clowns.
That the fire-blowing guys was burning up. The fire-blower turns his attention to the Batmobile, blowing fire at it. Batman pushes a button that releases a pole-like device into the ground. It raises the Batmobile up and spins the Batmobile on the spot a full 180 degrees. This has the back of the Batmobile now facing the fire-blower. Batman turns on the afterburners on the Batmobile, which lights the fire-blower on fire.
So brutal. It's like, whoa, what is Batman doing?
You like to blow fire, huh? Well, let me
Blow
give you
this.
I love this part. It's actually one of my favorite moments in the movie. Just that. Two can play that game. I'll spin my whole thing around and blow fire at you.
Yep.
Selena is trying to stay away from the circus gang while also trying to grab her glasses that have fallen onto the ground. As she goes to pick them up, the Batmobile pulls up in front of her. A fearful nearby circus gang clown grabs Selena and takes her hostage, using her as a human shield. Batman climbs out of the Batmobile. I love that car so much. The circus clown pulls out a taser and threatens Selena with it.
One step closer, Mr. Man-Bat, and I'll...
The sound of a taser goes off. Zzz, zzz. Batman pulls out a grapple gun and shoots it into the wall behind the thug.
You missed.
Batman then tugs on the grapple line, which pulls part of the wall out and knocks it into the back of the thug's head. Batman just stares at Selina, saying nothing. It's kind of a bit creepy, actually. He's just like, are they going to get a thank you or something?
Clown Thug is dead.
Yeah, he's at least knocked out. But it could be. He could have got internal bleeding. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's concrete into the back of a head.
Yeah. It's no Will Smith's lap, though.
No, nothing will beat that. Wow. The Batman. Or is it just Batman? Batman walks away. Your choice, of course. Selina starts to pick up her stuff around the now unconscious Clown Thug. Well, that was very brief, just like all the men in my life. What, man? Well, then again, there's you, but you need therapy. Selina grabs the taser from the thug's hand and tests it out on him. Cut to Commissioner Gordon talking to Batman. Thanks for saving the day, Batman. I'm afraid the circus gang is back. We'll see. No, they're back, Batman.
Yeah, definitely.
They almost made off with our mover and shaker, Max Shrek, but where is that insufferable son of a gun? Cut to Max running down an empty alleyway. As he's walking down, you can quite clearly see a trapdoor in the snow. But of course, Max stands right on it and doesn't move. Max then drops down the trapdoor when it is opened. Cut to a sweeping shot of the abandoned Gotham Zoo. Because of course there's an abandoned zoo in Gotham. There's always the craziest abandoned sites in the Batman movie, TV shows and comics.
Yep.
The shot stops at a place called Arctic World. It then cuts inside to a shot of Max. He is surrounded by a weird and interesting looking circus folk, who all seem to be eating dinner around a table. There are also penguins walking around, before introducing you to the penguin himself.
Hi.
Max looks speechless.
I believe the word you're looking for is ah. Actually, this is all just a bad dream. You're at home in bed, heavily sedated, resting comfortably, dying from the carcinogens you personally spewed in a lifetime of profiteering. Tragic irony or poetic justice? You tell me. My God, it's true. Penguin Man of the sewer.
Like that. You gave Max the real snobby, like, upper crust kind of voice there. I like it. Penguin starts going through a barrel full of umbrellas, each with their own unique feature.
Odd as it may seem, Max, you and I have something in common.
Penguin sets off a flamethrower umbrella.
We're both perceived as monsters.
Penguin pulls out an umbrella with a blade on the end.
But somehow, you're a well-respected monster, and I am, to date, not. Frankly, I feel that's a bum rap. I'm a businessman. Tough? Yes. Shrewd? Okay. But that does not make me a monster.
Penguin turns towards Max with an umbrella with a hypnotizing spinning pattern on it. Penguin starts to spin it.
Don't embarrass yourself, Max. I know all about you. What you hide, I discover. What you put in your toilet, Oh, God! What you put in your toilet, I place on my mantle. Yeah, that doesn't sound dodgy at all. What you put in your toilet, I place on my mantle. Get the picture? What? Is that supposed to hypnotize me? No. Just give you a splitting headache. Well, it's not working.
The hypnotizing umbrella then fires a gunshot, causing Max to cower in fear.
Oh, you big baby. Just blanks. Would I go through all this trouble tonight just to kill you? No, Max. I have an entirely other purpose. I'm ready, Max. I've been down here too long. It's time for me to ascend, to reemerge. With your help, your know-how, your savvy. I wasn't born in the sewer, you know. How does he know?
And everyone knows probably the legend of the Penguin Man.
True.
The legend.
I come from like you, and like you, I want some respect. A recognition of my basic humanity. But, most of all, I want to find out who I am. By finding my parents, learning my human name. Simple stuff that the good people of Gotham take for granted. And exactly why am I going to help you?
Penguin smiles.
Well, let's start.
The circus member with the monkey hands Penguin over a Christmas stocking full of goodies.
Ooh. Well, what have we here? Let's see.
Penguin pulls out a flask from the stocking and unscrews the lid.
Ah, a batch of toxic waste from your clean textile plant. There's a whole lagoon of this crud in the back. That could have come from anywhere. What about the documents that prove you own half the fire traps in Gotham City? If there were such documents, that's not an admission. I would have seen to it they were shredded. Oh, good idea.
Penguin pulls out some documents that have been re-stuck together.
A lot of tape and a little patience makes all the difference. By the way, how's Fred Atkins, your old partner? Fred? Fred's actually, I believe he's on extended vacation. He's good.
Penguin laughs as he reaches deep into the Christmas stocking.
Hiya, Max. Remember me? I'm Fred's hand. You want to greet any other body parts? Remember, Max, you flush it, I flaunt it. You know what, Mr. Penguin, sir? I think perhaps I could help orchestrate a little welcome home scenario for you. Once we're both back home, perhaps we can help each other out? Hey, you won't regret this, Mr. Shrek.
Penguin shakes hands with Max. Only Penguin uses Fred's dead hand. Grody. Yeah. But Grody. There you go. That's well done, sir. You got through it.
Oh, God.
And now it's me for the next scene. Selena returns to her apartment. Honey, I'm home. Oh, I forgot. I'm not married.
Zinger!
Selena limps around her place. I guess she got injured during the circus gang attack?
Hmm.
I guess so. She's limping. Selena feeds her cat some milk and talks to her cat. Selena prepares her bed. It's one of those beds you have to pull down from a cupboard while playing her answering machine messages. Selena has a big neon sign that says, "Hello there." Good old unofficial Obi-Wan Easter egg. Hello there.
Why, hello there.
First message on the machine is from her mother, who is upset that she's not coming home for Christmas. She also doesn't understand why Selena wants to stay in Gotham as some lowly secretary. Lowly assistant? Second message on the machine was from a guy she was seeing. It's about the Christmas getaway they had planned. He'll be going alone, as Dr. Shaw says he needs to be his own person, and not an appendage. Selena stops the answering machine. Some appendage. Wow, the party never stops on Selena Kyle's answering machine. I guess I should just have let him win that last racquetball game. Selena skips to the next message on the machine. The next message is an automated voice about Gotham Lady Perfume. Selena skips to the next message. The last message is from herself, reminding her that unless she brought home the file on Bruce Wayne to prep for the next day's meeting, she needs to go all the way back to work. Selena frustratingly heads back to work. I actually quite like that. Selena, it's yourself. Unless you remember to bring home that file, you have to go all the way back to work. She's like, But yeah, this sets up because this scene with Selena gets mirrored very shortly after she has the fall. She pretty much goes through the same motions, but she's now completely derailed and completely different. Cut back to the office at Shrek's department store. Max heads up to the office and sees Selena, still working. He sneaks up on her.
dodgy stuff.
Well, murder is dodgy stuff.
Don't sneak up on people. Working late?
I'm just boarding up for your Bruce Wayne meeting in the morning. I pulled all the files on the proposed power plant and Mr. Wayne's hope for investment, and I even opened the protected files and...
How industrious.
More like how stupid for her to say that.
Yep.
I broke into your files that you probably want to keep away from the cops, but don't worry, I told you about it.
Yep. How did you open protected files? May I ask?
Well, I figured your password was Geraldo, your chihuahua, and it was. This is all very interesting, though a bit on the technical side. I mean, about the power plant is a power plant in name only, and since, in fact, it's going to be a big giant, capacitor, and that, instead of generating power, it sort of be sucking power from, Gotham City and storing it, sort of stockpiling it. Selena starts to realize what she is saying and starts to get more and more nervous, which is a very novel approach, I'd say.
And who would you say this to?
Nobody Does It Bennett. Meh.
I wondered what that was. I was looking at it going, what? I don't remember Does It Bennett being in the movie. What's going on here?
When she goes nobody, I was doing the notes, went, Does It Bennett. Meh. I was like, I'm putting it in. Max starts to walk towards Selena in a very sinister manner, while Selena slowly backs away.
What did curiosity do to the cat?
I'm no cat. I'm just an assistant, secretary.
And a very good one.
Too good?
Yeah.
Listen, it's our secret. Honest. How can you be so mean to someone so meaningless? That line, it breaks my heart every time I hear that line. That line shows you just how little Selena thinks of herself.
That's very, very hard to hear.
That's the line that breaks my heart the most.
This power plant is my legacy. It's what I leave behind for Chip.
Such a stupid name his son has. I keep saying that every time I hear it.
Yep. Nothing must prevent that.
Okay. Go ahead. Intimidate me. Bully me if it makes you feel big. I mean, it's not like you can just kill me.
Actually, it's a lot like that.
Max leans in close as Selena gets more and more terrified.
Huh?
What?
Huh?
They both end up laughing, Max pretending like it was all a joke. You know, for a second there, you really frightened me.
Oh.
Max takes a step back, but then lunges forward, pushing Selena out the nearby window. Selena falls several stories flat on her back to the snowy ground below. The shot of her face as she goes through all those window covers on the way down is brutal.
Yeah.
Selena lies still on the ground, presumably dead. A bunch of alley cats show up and start surrounding Selena.
Oh, I can't. This is one of the scenes. It grosses me out so much.
Some even start to bite her bloody fingertips. This is the bit that makes me go, nah, is her body starts to twitch and you see her eyes flickering.
Yeah.
Before her eyes flicker open. A pretty disturbing scene, Jeff.
Yes, very, very much so.
But this is the theory. Did she just wake up because she didn't die from the initial of Max killing her? Or did the cats even just actually bring her back to life? Did they resurrect her?
No, I'm pretty certain that the cats woke her up.
You think it was the cat? So you think it was a witch doctor this time? It wasn't?
No, not like that.
It was the witch doctor and the Punisher as well? You know, it's actually smart because it doesn't actually tell you if it was actually the cats. Because the cats might have just woken her up when they started biting her. To give her back. Or the cats actually gave her powers. Because it would also explain why she can do all the stuff she can do later on, which she couldn't do before. Selena returns back to her apartment. It's pretty much a replay of her scene before when she arrived home. Only this time, Selena is much, much more disheveled and completely disconnected. Almost like a zombie. Honey, I'm home. Oh, I forgot. I'm not married. Selena grabs the milk from the fridge after just dropping her keys and knocking over a lamp. Selena pours the milk for the cat but spills most of it on the floor. Then she drinks from the carton, spilling half of it down her front. Selena then goes through her messages again. After a couple of messages from her mother, there is another automated advertising message.
Hello, Selena Kyle. We're just calling to make sure you've tried Gotham Lady Perfume. One whiff of this at the office, and your boss will be asking you to stay after work for a candlelight staff meeting for 2. Gotham Lady Perfume, exclusively at Shrek's department store.
But okay, there is so much wrong with this voice message. Your boss will want to stay out because you'll be smelling so good that your boss will want to sexually harass you.
Yeah.
It's actually not a plus. That's a negative.
Your boss will want to sexually harass you, but not until after he pushes you out a window.
Buy this expensive perfume. Your boss is going to probably cheat on his wife with you. So you're going to become this mistress. What is good about that? Selena snaps and starts to destroy her apartment. Smashing things, knocking things over, stabbing and putting stuffed toys in her sink trash compactor. Tearing things, even starts to spray paint the walls. Selena comes across a black leather jacket and has an idea. She starts sewing together a catsuit.
Kind of feels like one of those campy 90s movies where the teen girl really does her looks and stuff.
Like a montage thing?
Yeah.
It's like an 80s montage.
Yeah.
But this is like a twisted version of that.
Yeah. Like they did in Scrubs with Elliot when she like gets her hair cut.
Yeah. The jacket she grabs, I look at that and go, she can't get enough material out of that to make a whole catsuit. And a mask. I look at that and go, nah, where's the rest of the stuff coming from?
Yeah.
She starts sewing together a catsuit, even inserts claws into the gloves. The 4K really shows how pale Selena's complexion is now compared to before. She has really white skin with darkness around her eyes.
I think she lost a bit of blood or something.
She would have lost a lot of blood probably. But you didn't see any blood in the snow, which would have been cool if you saw like red filling up where the snow was.
Yeah, maybe.
It would have got R-rated.
Yeah.
As Selena goes by
Unless they made it black and white like they do on WWE at the moment.
God damn it. I hate
You'll
that.
be like watching it and it's like, oh, what's about to happen? And all of a sudden, bam, it goes black and white. And you're like, what? Oh, right. Okay.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
As Selena goes by the window in the new catsuit to greet all the cats that are now outside her apartment for some reason, you can see that she has smashed the neon sign in her room from what used to say, hello there. It now says, hell here. I don't know about you, Miss Kitty, but I feel so much yummier.
Yeah.
I had to go with it. You got to embrace the Catwoman, you know?
Llama.
Embrace my Anna Catwoman. Cut to the steps outside City Hall. The mayor starts a speech about denouncing the urban chaos they have been having lately. Penguin lifts up a manhole directly behind the crowd listening to the mayor. So one person didn't hear that heavy manhole grate being lifted up? Alright, sure, yep. Because they're all right in front of it, but what's that?
But they're all really distracted. The mayor's just so good at
the
his
mayor's
job.
talking. I haven't got time to look behind me.
Yeah.
A somersaulting clown shows up behind the mayor, grabs his newborn son away from his wife's arms, says a quick thanks, then flips down into a nearby manhole that was recently opened by Penguin. We all saw it.
Yeah.
You can hear the clown in the sewer begging for the penguin not to hurt him. The clown then gives the baby to Penguin. The penguin rises up from the sewer in his rubber ducky vehicle with the baby in hand and gives him back to the mayor and his wife.
That's a pretty cool entrance.
I love the ducky too.
Yeah, but you don't see the ducky for the crowd.
For the entrance though, I've never understood how he can actually rise up from the manhole from a duck unless the seat can come up.
Yeah, it's the seat that's coming up.
See, that is coming up? Okay.
Yeah, so what happens is the duck goes so far and then the seat goes the rest of the distance.
Because you never see that feature again with the seat, so I thought maybe it was just the whole thing was going up, but then it would get jammed in the manhole. That would have been like an Austin Powers thing.
Yeah.
Max poses for photos next to Penguin. Cut to Wayne Manor. Alfred is decorating a massive Christmas tree that requires a ladder to decorate. That's how giant the tree is.
Yeah.
Bruce stands next to a massive roaring fire. God knows how much wood that thing needs. It was a massive fire. Bruce is watching the penguin's baby rescue on TV.
It's weird how it starts like this because it sounds like he's like been in a conversation already,
Yeah.
but it starts with him talking.
That's because he's on TV. Penguin, yeah.
All I want in return is a chance to find my mum and dad. A chance to find out who they are. And thusly, who I am. and then, with my parents, try to understand why they did what I guess they felt they had to do to a child who was born a little different. A child who spent his first Christmas and many since in a sewer. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Mr. Wayne, something wrong?
No, his parents. I hope he finds them. Bruce then sees Penguin standing next to Max Schreck and gets suspicious. At this point, Bruce was like, oh, I feel bad for this guy. But as soon as he sees Max Schreck, he's like, something's not right.
My bat senses are tingling.
Well, it's good. It shows his detective skills too. Like, he sees Schreck and all of a sudden he goes back into, there's something more to this. And I'm going to investigate. And this is the thing that starts him off. If Max Schreck wasn't associated with Penguin, visibly, I don't know if Batman would have been so suspicious so soon. Cut to the Gotham Hall of Records. There is a ridiculous large sign outside the building that says, Hall of Records, like a cartoon. I'm like, There is a large number of journalists outside, all wanting to be let in since it's a public place. But Penguin is in there alone. Max makes a speech to them about the freedom to find your roots and where you came from with dignity and privacy. Or privacy, some people say. I say privacy, but do you say privacy or privacy?
I say neither.
I say, shut up, it's my private business.
Yeah. I probably say privacy too, to be honest.
Journalist asks Max if he is a personal friend of the Penguins. Max says that Penguin is a personal friend to the whole city. Penguin goes over the records of Gotham City, seemingly doing more than just looking for his own family lineage. His own family lineage. Cut to the Batcave. Bruce is doing some research on the Red Triangle Gang while Alfred arrives with Bruce's dinner. Bruce has some of the dinner, but quickly spits it out. It's cold!
It's vichy far, sir.
Bruce looks confused.
It's supposed to be cold.
Bruce starts to eat the dinner again. But I know this part isn't important to the overall plot, but I have always loved this moment. Bruce, almost childlike in his reaction to the food being cold, is priceless, and Alfred's reaction is even better.
Yeah.
It's amazing that after 25 years or so, Alfred is still doing things that surprises Bruce. Shocking. Bruce looks more into the history of the Penguin.
Why are you now determined to prove that this penguin is not what he seems? Must you be the only lonely man-beast in town? Ugh, man-beast.
Man-beast. Man-beast.
Get yours now at your local video store.
Man-beast, the movie! Bruce reads that the Red Triangle Circus was shut down due to a string of missing children. However, at least one freak show performer vanished before he could be questioned by police.
I suppose you feel better now, sir?
No. Actually, I feel worse. Catch the Penguin still going through the records in the Hall of Records building. The Batmobile drives by, leaving wheel marks in the freshly laid snow. I love the Batmobile, Jeff. Alfred rings via the Batmobile video comms.
Why are you still out? Are you concerned about that strange, heroic penguin person?
I think he knows who his parents are. There's something else. The Batmobile pulls up outside the Hall of Records. Batman looks in through the window at Penguin, then drives off.
Stalker much?
I love that car.
Yeah.
Cut to a cemetery. The media are at the gates, while Penguin walks alone inside with an umbrella over his head. The Penguin theme Danny Elfman has composed here is a beautiful piece of music. Actually, when he's walking to the cemetery through there, love it. Penguin visits the grave of his parents. His dad's name was Tucker Cobblepot, and his mother's name was Esther, Esther, Esther Cobblepot. No date of birth or death, just says devoted husband and beloved wife. Penguin leaves a single rose at the grave, then gets up and walks back to the gates, towards the media who are saying, "So, Mr. Penguin."
A penguin is a bird that cannot fly. I am a man. I have a name. Oswald Cobblepot.
Mr. Cobblepot, you'll never get to settle up with them, huh?
True. I was their number one son, and they treated me like number two.
I'm a number two son in my family, Jeff. Am I scum to my parents?
Yes?
My parents look at me and go, it's just number two.
Hey, number 2.
Hey, number 1.
Hey, number 2. But it's human nature to fear the unusual. Perhaps when I held my Tiffany baby rattle with a shiny flipper instead of 5 stubby digits, they freaked. But I forgive them.
Cut to a newspaper reading, Penguin forgives parents.
Does it really?
Yeah, it says that on there, yeah.
Oh, God.
That's the front page too. People are discussing some of the quotes in the article. One of the people is Bob Kane's wife, who becomes a really annoying reporter in the later movies.
Yay!
Have you heard about the controversy, Jeff, with Bob Kane and Bill Finger?
Oh, yes, yeah.
So for people at home listening to this, up to about 2018 or so, every single thing that said Batman was created by Bob Kane. Everything after 2018 now says created by Bob Kane with Bill Finger, because Bill Finger was someone who actually helped create Batman as a character. Like, Bob Kane created the name, he created the kind of basic costume. Bill Finger was the reason Gotham is called Gotham. Bill Finger is the reason, I think he even wrote the origin story. Pretty sure he had all the gadgets and stuff was Bill Finger's idea. Half the Rogues Gallery, I think, was Bill Finger's idea. He didn't get much money from it. He was kind of scammed out of it by Bob Kane. And Bob Kane's dad was a high-priced lawyer that managed to get Bob Kane the best deal he could, and Bill Finger was shunned. But yeah, so all this time I've been a big Batman fan. I was devastated when I found out Bill Finger was kind of shunned for most of his life. But now Bill Finger is, he's getting the recognition he deserves. A lady is walking along the street when a man grabs her and forces her into an alleyway.
Ew, dodgy. Pretty little thing.
This was Kermit for a second here.
Pretty little thing, nice and easy. Yeah, well, why not? I didn't realize I had to be serious. Especially when it's getting real bad.
I'm just picturing Kermit now doing this.
Yeah.
That's what's funny about it. Yep.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to bring it back just because he said this.
Perfect. I love it.
Pretty little thing. Nice and easy.
The bad guy is about to do some nasty things to the lady when he is distracted by a voice. I just love a big, strong man who's not afraid to show up with someone half his size. The bad guy lets go of the lady and approaches Catwoman. Be gentle. It's my first time. Catwoman hits the bad guy with multiple high kicks and follows it up with scratch marks up and down across his face with nasty metal claws and punches the guy. The blood from it was like, ugh, nasty. Catwoman then looks hella creepy at the lady.
Not Hello Kitty?
Hella creepy. Not Hello Kitty. Hella creepy. The lady goes to thank Catwoman, but her mouth gets covered up by Catwoman. You make it so easy, don't you? Always waiting for some Batman to save you. I am Catwoman. Hear me roar. Catwoman backflips away. Cut to Bruce making his way to Shrek's office the next day.
I'd offer you coffee, but my assistant's using her vacation time.
Good time, too. Everyone but the bandits will be slacking off till after the new year anyway.
Not sure I like the inference, Bruce.
Sorry, Max. Didn't realize I made one.
I'm pushing this power plant now because it'll cost more later. $1 million saved is $1 million earned.
I commissioned this report. I thought you may want to take a look at it. Bruce uses his Batman skills to throw some documents over to Max, almost like a frisbee. Batman skills.
Batman skills!
The point is, Max, Gotham City has a power surplus. I'm sure you know that. My question is, what's your angle?
None of your business, you snotty little brat.
Kurt angle.
Haha. Power surplus? Bruce, shame on you. No such thing. One can never have too much power. If my life has a meaning, that's the meaning.
So pretty much Gordon Gekko, greed is good. Yeah, well, I'm going to fight you on this. And I've already spoken to the mayor, and we see eye to eye.
Mayors come and go. Blue bloods tire easy. You think you could go 15 rounds with Muhammad Shrek? Somebody thinks highly of themselves.
Well, yeah, I think Batman could. Well, I guess we'll find out. Of course, I don't have a crime boss like Couplepot in my corner.
Crime boss? Show us what you know, Mr. To the Manor Born with a silver spoon. Oswald is Gotham's new golden boy. If his parents hadn't 86'd him, you two might have been bunkies at prep school.
Oswald controls the Red Triangle Gang. I can't prove it, but we both.
Wayne, I will not stand for mudslinging in this office. If my assistant was here, she already would have escorted you out.
Max turns around to see Selena with a band-aid on her forehead and a bandage on her right hand. Her whole look and persona have changed. Anywhere he wants? Preferably some night spot, grotto, or secluded hideaway? Nice suit. Thanks. I personally prefer Max's black and grey striped suit. Reminds me of Beetlejuice.
It reminds you of Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton.
Yeah, and Tim Burton directed it. It's not by accident, I don't think.
Selena? Selena?
That's my name, Maximilians. Don't wear it out, or I'll make you buy me a new one.
Selena? This is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, we've met. Have we? Whoops, Bruce, you met her as Batman. Quickly, deflect. This is not a drill. Come up with a genius Batman way to get out of this. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I mistook me for somebody else. Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make it any less funny. Oh, I'm sorry. I've mistaken you for someone else. Instead, he's like, oh, I've mistaken myself for someone else.
You mean mistook me? I mistook... yeah. Isn't that what I said? No, I don't think so.
Awkward.
Smooth, Bruce. Real smooth. Bruce points at the band-aid on Selena's head. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Did you injure yourself on that ski slope? Is that why you cut short your vacation and came back?
You know, it's a blur. I mean, not complete amnesia. I remember Sister Mary Margaret puking in church and Betsy Riley saying it was morning sickness, and I remember the time I forgot to wear my underpants to school, and the name of the boy who noticed was Ricky Friedberg. He's dead now.
Ooh.
But last night, complete blur. Couldn't you just die?
Selena, please, show out Mr. Wayne.
With pleasure. Your coat, Mr. Wayne? Bruce just stands there smiling, completely oblivious for a moment to what Selena just said. Oh, right. Selena and Bruce walk past Chip, terrible name, who closes the office door behind them. You don't seem like the type who does business with Mr. Shrek. And you don't seem like the type who takes orders from him. Well, that's a long story. You know, I could free up some time. I'm listed. I'm tempted. I'm working. I'm leaving. He's like in the elevator, like, I'm leaving. Oh God, the elevator's closing.
Oh dear.
Cut back to Max's office. Dad, you believe any of that blurry business?
Woman, nothing surprises me. Chip, except your late mother.
You reckon Max had his wife killed or killed her himself?
I would say he had her killed. He doesn't seem like the type that wants to get his hands dirty.
But he killed Selena, or tried to.
And the way he did it, it was just shoving her out of a window. Unless he did the same thing to the mother, it would be getting your hands dirty because you'd be doing a whole lot more.
Yeah, I don't know. People at home, if you're listening to this, how do you think Max Shrek would have killed his wife? Would he kill her by hitman or by himself? Let us know by emailing Nobody Does It Bennett at outlook.com or go into the Facebook page.
Nobody does it, Bennett.
Mwah.
Who'd have thought Selena had a brain to damage? Bottom line, if she tries to blackmail me, I'll drop her out a higher window. Meantime, I got better fish to fry.
Cut to Oswald up in the attic loft of a building. Max comes up to see him. Oswald is wearing a monocle, just like in the comic book, and the 1966 version. A bunch of the Red Triangle gang are also up there. Max asks Oswald to go downstairs with him. It's a surprise. Oswald gets angry as he doesn't like surprises. Max pulls out a fish wrapped in paper from his coat pocket. Oswald grabs his fish off Max and starts to disgustingly devour it as he walks downstairs with Max. Max introduces Oswald to a team of people who are going to help him run a campaign for Oswald to become mayor. Oswald mentions how it's not time for elections, but as we know from Max's discussion with the mayor earlier, Max knows how he can get an election recounted and therefore restarted. I do like the campaign posters. I wish I could have one for myself hanging on my wall.
They're pretty cool, yeah.
Max introduces Oswald to a bunch of people. Josh puts a fancy cigarette in Oswald's mouth, but he just spits it back out. Jen tries to put finger gloves on Oswald's flippers, but Oswald won't let her. Not a lot of reflective surfaces down in the sewer, huh? Josh smugly laughs, then Oswald laughs, which encourages others to do so.
Still, could be worse. My nose could be gushing blood.
Oswald and the others laugh, confused by it too. They're like, ha ha ha, I'm confused by what you meant by that. Josh, still bent down next to Oswald, is confused by this. Oswald then bites Josh on the nose.
Brutal.
Yeah, which leaves him, well, gushing blood. It's just like pours down, eh?
Yeah. Oh.
As Oswald bites the nose, you can see a spurt of pressurized blood squirting off the side. I'm like, oh, 4K. That's what I get the 4K for, guys.
Yummy.
Max talks about how he's going to get the election restarted, while Oswald makes unsavory comments about some of the female staff. Oswald starts warming to the idea of becoming mayor. Max says how they'll need a reason to recall an election. Convinces Oswald to use his Red Triangle gang to create some problems in the city. Oswald says how he can't get distracted as he has plans of his own to take care of. Max says becoming mayor is a way for Oswald to reclaim his birthright.
Burn, baby. Burn.
Burn, baby, burn. Cut to the Red Triangle gang out on the streets. Even that lady and her little dog are out and about. The little dog has a grenade in its mouth and it enters a store, then comes out without the grenade.
Thank goodness.
The shop then blows up. The gang is causing chaos. But Batman is there too to take them down.
Explosions.
The suit yet again restricts Batman to either arm or leg combat, not both at the same time. Must be a nightmare for Keaton and the stunt guys. Batman then gets surrounded by clowns with different weapons. One even has a bazooka. The lady and her dog are also there. Batman pulls out a remote Batarang that targets the gang members one by one, knocking them down. It's like a first-person view. It's bang, bang, bang. Quite like it. It's cool. When the Batarang is about to take out the woman, her dog jumps up and grabs the Batarang in its mouth. The lady and the dog with the Batarang run off. One clown has a real cartoon-type bomb attached to him. Batman yanks it off and knocks down the clown. Cut to Catwoman dancing outside the Shrek department store. You get another shot of the mascot Cat Clock. Also have a red light coming through the window. A great shot. So it's like very, apart from the red coming through everything, looks very kind of toned down on the colour scheme, but it looks amazing coming through. Catwoman cartwheels around the store, then starts whipping heads off mannequin displays before smashing through some glass cabinets. Two security guards show up.
Who is she?
What is she? I don't know whether to open fire or fall in love. You poor guys, always confusing your pistols with your privates.
Yeah, how the heck does that happen? Confuse your pistol with your private?
Yeah, it's a good line, I like it. Catwoman slaps the gun out of one of the guard's hands, and then the other guard's hands.
Don't hurt us, lady. Our take-home's less than 300.
You're overpaid. Hit the road. The guards run away. So she doesn't even kill them, because she's not evil. Cut to Batman walking along with a bomb still in his hand. Batman continues beating down clowns. Batman then comes face to face with a real large dude. Batman hits him in the face, but it doesn't seem to have much of an effect. The thug even says, "Go ahead. Hit me."
Make my day.
The Batman smacks him again. The thug just laughs. Batman, though, starts looking down. The bomb Batman confiscated was now in the big guy's pants. Batman smiles, thus creating the creepy Batman smile meme.
Blew his pants off.
Batman then punches the big guy down some sort of construction shaft. You then hear and see a large explosion come from the shaft. Batman just killed a man. Put a bomb up in his pants. Punched him down. Boom, now he's dead.
Except for it should be down his pants, not up his pants. But whatever.
Fine. Batman just killed a man. Put a bomb down in his pants. Punched him down. Boom, now he's dead.
Yep.
There you go. Cut back to Catwoman, still in Shrek's department store. Catwoman pulls out a door to the gas cylinder, then knocks out the gas tube, filling the area in gas. Catwoman then puts some spray cans in a microwave, turns it on, and skips away. Cut back to Batman coming face to face with Oswald. Admiring your handiwork.
Touring the riot scene. Gravely assessing the devastation. Upstanding mayor stuff.
You're not the mayor.
Things change.
What do you want?
The direct approach. I admire that in a man with a mask. You don't really think you'll win, do you?
Things change. Batman and Oswald are interrupted by Catwoman, flipping over to them. They both look at her. Meow. Suddenly, there's a massive multi-angle explosion that is done again. Here's the reference from before. And again from different angles. I knew I put that in there. When you said it before, I was like, I knew I had this in my joke somewhere.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But we've already done this scene.
Catwoman blew up Shrek's building. It's not funny that I found that he blew up Shrek's building. I was laughing from the previous joke, alright? Catwoman blew up Shrek's building. Batman, distracted by the explosion, takes a moment to notice that Catwoman is climbing away up a building.
I saw her first. Gotta fly.
Oswald's umbrella shreds its fabric cover as propellers start up. Oswald starts to fly away. Catwoman watches Oswald fly up in the air from a nearby rooftop. As Batman is climbing up a ladder to the roof, Catwoman kicks him down. Catwoman then gets in some shots before Batman knocks her down. How could you? I'm a woman. I'm sorry, I... Batman goes to help Catwoman up when she kicks him in the bat abs.
Bat abs.
Catwoman then starts to use her whip. Her cool whip. Batman loses his balance from trying to back away from the whip and falls off the side of the building. Catwoman fastens the end of her whip to a nearby roof antenna. Batman is hanging onto the other end over the side. As I was saying, I'm a woman and can't be taken for granted. Life's a bitch. Now so am I. Batman throws some sort of chemical at Catwoman that burns her upper arm. I don't know what it is. It doesn't say what it is, but it's like some sort of weird chemical thing.
It's bat drugs.
It's probably some of that Gotham perfume.
Yeah.
He'll be asking her to stay late after work.
For some dinner for two.
It's like, I'll use perfume on you. It burns! It means it's working.
Yeah.
Batman grabs her and stops her from falling. They are standing on a window ledge. Who are you? Who's the man behind the bat? Maybe you can help me find the woman behind the cat. Catwoman starts to feel over Batman's armor before finding a weak point towards the back of the bat abs.
Bat abs.
There you are. Catwoman digs her claws into Batman's weak point, which makes Batman react by smacking her off the window ledge and having her land in the back of a moving truck. Saved by kitty litter. Cut to Batman in the Batcave, removing parts of his suit. He removes one of Catwoman's claws that was left behind from her attack. You can see the damage she did to Batman's ribs. He has a real nasty looking gash to a massive hole in his suit. It was like, oof, brutal. Batman picks up the phone in the Batcave, still wearing the Batcowl. Alfred, bring me some antiseptic ointment, would you?
Coming. Are you on pain, sir?
No, not really. Batman closely examines the claw. Meow.
This just gets weird.
Cut to a shot of Gotham City. Oswald Cobblepot Mayor banners go up on the streets. That's hard to say. It then cuts to Oswald being applauded in his campaign office.
I may have saved the mayor's baby, but I refused to save a mayor who stood by helpless as a baby while Gotham was ravaged by a disease that turned Eagle Scouts into crazed clowns and happy homemakers into Catwoman.
The small crowd applaud.
Thank you.
A journalist rings his newspaper to report that Oswald has made his bid for mayor. After Oswald pins some campaign badges to a couple of attractive ladies, he heads back upstairs to his private quarters. The circus guy with the monkey calls Oswald Penguin, but he gets informed that his name isn't Penguin, it's Oswald. Circus guy with monkey then informs him that there's somebody here to see him. It's Catwoman, and she brought her cat along for some reason. Don't know why she did, but yeah, there you go.
Sure. Oh.
Hey, here we go. Just the pussy, yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. Just the pussy I've been looking for. Look.
It's chilly in here.
I'll warm you.
Down, Oswald.
Whoosh.
Oswald starts to sniff Catwoman's leg she used to keep him at bay.
Maybe she's wearing the perfume after all.
Maybe she's wearing the Gotham lady's perfume. One whiff of this and Penguin will want you to stay after work.
Yeah.
We need to talk. You see, you and I have something in common.
Sounds familiar. Appetite for destruction? Contempt for the czars of fashion? Wait. Don't tell me. Naked... Ugh. Naked sexual charisma?
Batman. The thorn in both our sides. the fly in our ointment.
Ointment? I've got scented or unscented.
I'll come back later.
Perchance, are you a registered voter? I'm a mayoral prospect, you know.
I have but one pet cause today. Ban the Bat.
Oh, him again. No bother, he's already history. Check it out. We'll disassemble his Batmobile and turn it into an H-bomb on wheels.
No. He'd have even more power as a martyr. To destroy Batman, we must first turn him into what he hates the most. Namely us.
You mean frame him?
Not even in office yet, and already an enemies list,
Arr! Oh, God. Arr! Fire!
It's more like,
Arr! Those names are not for prying eyes. Hey, why should I trust some cat broad anyway? Maybe you're just a screwed-up sorority chick who's getting back at her daddy for not buying her that pony when she turned sweet 16.
Catwoman smiles and looks into the birdcage her and Oswald have been dancing around. She manages to grab the bird inside and she puts it in her mouth. Oswald then goes over to Catwoman's cat on the bed and pulls out a switchblade on his umbrella, threatening the cat. Catwoman lets the bird fly out of her mouth while the cat runs off the bed. Look, Batman napalmed my arm. He knocked me off a building just when I was starting to feel good about myself. I want to play an integral part in his degradation. Oswald lies down and looks up on the roof, making a bat shadow puppet with his flippers.
A plan is forming.
I want in. The thought of busting Batman makes me feel all dirty. Maybe I'll just give myself a bath right here. Catwoman then starts licking her arm and using it to clean the side of her head like a cat. Cut to Bruce in front of the forest fire of a fireplace, watching Oswald challenge the mayor.
Forest fire?
Because it's like a massive fireplace. I've called it a forest fire. That's how big it is. So cuts to Batman in front of the forest fire of a fireplace, watching Oswald challenge the mayor to relight the Christmas tree in Gotham Plaza. Bruce is watching on his huge 29-inch TV. Just saying, back in the day, that was a huge TV.
Sir, should we change the channel to a program with some dignity and class? Love connection, perhaps? But I hope and pray that Batman will be present to preserve the peace.
Subtle. Cut to Selena looking into a window of a department store. You can hear Christmas carols in the background. Why are you doing this? Selena? Huh? Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Scare me? No, I was scaring myself, actually.
Ugh.
I don't see how, but anyway, it's nice to see you out here in the real world, away from Shrek. Yeah, well, it's nice to be here. You all right? Mm-hmm. You look like maybe you had the holiday blues or something. No. Boy, the news these days. Weird. Bruce has to have a double look at the newspaper headline, Batman blows it. I heard on TV that Catwoman is thought to weigh 140 pounds. I don't know how these hacks sleep at night. It's not even accurate. Batman blows it? He probably saved millions of dollars in property damage alone. You're not going to that, are you? The, relighting of the tree thing? No, I wouldn't be caught dead there. It's going to be a hot time in a cold town tonight. It reminds me of a Joker line from the first one. You got kind of a dark side, don't you? No darker than yours, Bruce. Alfred honks the horn to the car.
Hurry up! Get in here!
It's like, dude, you're working for him, not the other way around. Listen, why don't you come over and we can watch it together on TV? What? The tree lighting ceremony. I can't. I have to, be somewhere tonight. How about if you come over for an early dinner? Let's say 5. Let's say 6. Okay, 5. 5. You and me, okay? Cut to the tree lighting lady in the tent, getting ready to redo the important job of pushing the button.
Yay!
The tree lights up, and then I push the button. No, wait. I press the button, and then the tree lights up.
Woof.
Penguin comes into the tent with a circus lady and her wee dog with a batarang in its mouth. Who are you?
Talent scout.
Come in. You know, I don't just light trees. I'm an actress as well.
Oh, wow.
Oswald grabs the Batarang. What is that thing? A camera or something?
Say cheese.
Cheese. Oswald viciously throws the Batarang at her. He's like, "Rah!" Like, oh, and you see like all the blood in it later on. It's like, oh, that did some damage.
You want that back by any chance?
Cut to Bruce and Selena sitting in front of that wildfire that Bruce calls a fireplace. So every time I mention it's just huge, and just like how much wood that thing will need is amazing. Selena and Bruce make up stuff of each other, like Bruce being a gold-plated bachelor and Selena being a lonely secretary. Good times. Selena asks Bruce about his past girlfriends. Bruce speaks about Vicky Vale from the first Batman film. Pretty sure she left as Bruce couldn't stop being Batman. I think Vicky wanted more that Bruce couldn't, or at least wouldn't give. Bruce and Selena make out. When Selena goes towards the ribs where Catwoman stabbed Batman, Bruce redirects her hand, and when Bruce starts running up his hand up Selena's arm, she pulls away as Bruce almost hits her nasty-looking chemical scar that Batman threw that perfume at her and scarred her. On the TV, a report comes across that the Ice Princess has been kidnapped. A journalist asks Commissioner Gordon to confirm reports of Batman's suspected involvement in the abduction. This evidence is purely circumstantial. This was found stained with blood in the missing girl's dressing room. Where have you been for the whole entire movie, Gordon? Doing nothing.
And that's your 2 cents.
It's the Batarang that Oswald just used. Here I got here. Commissioner Gordon in these movies is such a bumbling joke. Can't do anything without Batman. Bruce says how he needs to go. He tells Selena to sit and relax, and he'll be right back. Bruce goes and talks to Alfred. Alfred, I've got to get down to the plaza.
I saw it.
Yeah, I know. He's practically begging me to show.
Which is why I hoped you'd snub him.
No, I can't. There's been a kidnapping. Listen, here's what I want you to do. Selena starts running around looking for her shoes. Tell Selena, Miss Kyle? Tell her I had to go out of town. Tell her a big business deal came up. No. You know what? Let her know that, not in some kind of dumb, be my girlfriend kind of way.
I will relay the message.
Selena starts to run for the door, but is cut off by Alfred.
Miss Kyle,
Alfred?
Mr. Wayne told me to tell you.
Mr. Wayne? Oh, Bruce, yes. Would you tell him for me that I've been going through a lot of, changes and... No. Just that this is not a rejection. My abruptly leaving? In fact, he makes me feel the way I hope I really am. No. Can you just make up a sonnet or something? A dirty limerick?
One has just sprung to mind.
Thanks. Selena runs away.
This way, ma'am.
Oh, sorry. Cut to Bruce grabbing a batsuit from a sealed chamber in the Batcave.
Da-da-da-da.
Cut to Selena driving along the road in her Volkswagen Beetle.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Getting her Catwoman costume from a bag. Batman continues to suit up while Selena struggles with her costume. Batman walks out of the suit chamber. Never noticed this before, Jeff, but he has to awkwardly maneuver out of the way of one of his other suits before walking out, because there's another suit in front of him, so he's got to like go, hop, kind of like maneuver around it, then comes out and kind of like does the Batman pose. I'm like, whoops, awkward.
Yeah.
Someone's getting fired in the costume department.
Yeah.
Cut to the Batmobile pulling up on the street in Gotham. Jeff, I love this car. Have I ever mentioned this to you before?
No, you haven't. Please, tell me all about it.
Batman leaves and activates the shields on the Batmobile, encasing it in a protective shell. In the first movie, the shields are voice activated because he goes, shields. But in this one, there's like a wee car alarm beep that sounds deactivates the shields. It goes, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, pretty cheesy.
It's the little things I notice. Cut to the mayor in front of the Christmas tree in Gotham Plaza. The mayor says how he and the police have the situation well in hand. Cut to some of the Red Triangle gang approaching the secured Batmobile. They have a device that is on the same frequency as Batman's shield system. Don't ask me how they got it, because movie. The shields on the Batmobile deactivate. Meanwhile, Batman is on a nearby rooftop. He looks down at the crowd in Gotham Plaza below. Not a shot that holds up too well, because he looks down and is like, oh, it's a cringy shot.
Cringeworthy.
Batman sees the Ice Princess tied up near an empty warehouse. And that's why I started calling the Ice Princess in the script after this, because I didn't know her name until this. She was Tree Lighting Lady until Ice Princess.
Not much of a name.
No, it's better than Tree Lighting Lady. Batman uses this fancy flying grapple gun to drop down about 5 feet and go through a nearby door. It is really anticlimactic. Like he's like, dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He's like, open the door, and I go, I'm like, what? That's all? That's it? Meanwhile, the Red Triangle Gang are messing with the Batmobile's wiring. Cut back to Batman entering the room where the Ice Princess is. He starts to untie her from the chair. Thank you. It was a setup to look like I did this. No sweat. I'll just tell the police that I was kidnapped by an ugly birdman with fish breath. Did somebody say fish? Catwoman drops down and knocks Batman away. I haven't been fed all day. Eat floor.
I love that. Eat floor.
Batman knocks Catwoman down. High fiber. Batman and Catwoman fight for a moment before Catwoman flips back and knocks the Ice Princess off the chair so she can use it like a lion tamer with a whip against Batman. Catwoman throws the chair at Batman, then wraps up the Ice Princess with her whip. The top part is choking her. Gotta go. Girl talk.
Eat floor.
Catwoman takes the Ice Princess out of the room. Batman follows mere moments after Catwoman left, yet by the time he gets out there, Catwoman already has the Ice Princess over the roof above Batman. How the heck did she do that so damn fast?
It's because she ate floor.
He immediately follows them out, and they're already up on the roof, and he's looking up like, I'm not even disappointed, I'm impressed.
Yeah. I'm not even angry. I'm just impressed.
Cut back to the Red Triangle Gang working on the Batmobile. They put a really cartoon-looking spinning device into the Batmobile. Batman gets to the roof to find the Ice Princess alone on the edge of the building. She let me go. I think because I reasoned with her girl to girl. Be careful. Don't move. Oswald comes out of nowhere.
Lawn dart.
Oswald throws an umbrella like a spear at the Ice Princess. It lands right next to her.
Rats with wings, do your thing.
When the umbrella opens, bats come flying out, which spooks the Ice Princess, causing her to fall and crash to her death on the lighting box, which activates the tree lights and sends a whole bunch of bats scurrying from the Christmas tree. Even though it killed her, the Ice Princess did her job. So well done. She still lit the Christmas tree, even though it killed her.
Okay.
She pressed the button.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
She did her job. Batman ran over to try and save the Ice Princess, but from the ground, it looked like Batman pushed her off the building. And being that there are bats flying around, the popular theory is that Batman killed her. Oswald runs away just before the cops come through the door. Literally, like, he just sneaks behind the door when all of a sudden the door opens. Oh, I'm a cop. Ah! The cops start shooting without any attempt at an arrest. No, like, freeze, police, just bang, 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 bang. Commissioner Doofus tells them to hold their fire. Batman gets knocked off the roof from the gunshots and slides down the roof. Batman lands on his back on a lower roof balcony. Catwoman jumps on top of him. You're catnip to a girl like me. Handsome, dazed, and to die for. Batman turns his head, which is impressive, as he's on the ground with a woman on him, and that suit doesn't have much movement. Anyway, Batman notices some mistletoe above them. Ooh, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. But a kiss can be deadlier if you mean it. Catwoman licks Batman's lips and face. You're the second man who has killed me this week, but I've got 7 lives left. I tried to save you. Seems like every woman you try and save ends up dead. I'm deeply resentful. Maybe you should retire. Catwoman tries to stab Batman through the chest, but Batman is going to have none of it. He throws Catwoman away, pulls the leftover claw from his armor, walks to the edge of the building, and transforms his cape into a glider. Batman glides around with the bats around the Christmas tree. Batman glides around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday.
It's like Batman and the bats are attracted to the light.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh,
Oh my god, there's one
ooh.
giant bat there that's attracted by it.
Yeah, like Turk trying to get rid of the bats in Kelso's attic. You keep eating it up in the attic, sir? I like you.
Cut to the Red Triangle Gang leaving the Batmobile and reactivating the shields. Cut to Catwoman and Oswald watching the chaos from a roof ledge. Oswald has a bottle of champagne and some glasses. You said you were going to scare the Ice Princess.
She looked pretty scared to me. Touch of the bubbly. Ooh, ripping off somebody else.
Jericho ripped off Penguin from years ago. God damn you, Chris Jericho.
Touch of the bubbly.
Catwoman drinks a whole glass of champagne in one giant gulp.
Yeah, let's not add that.
Oh, Penguin.
Dodgy. So what are we waiting for? Let's consummate our fiendish union.
What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. Can't you picture? It's dark in the mayor's mansion. I'm bushed. So here you come into the bedroom, twitching your little tail. My slippers in one hand, a dry martini in the other.
Oh, please. I wouldn't touch you to scratch you.
You lousy minx. I ought to have you spayed. You sent out all the signals, and I don't think I like you anymore.
Oswald attaches an umbrella to Catwoman's neck and sends her flying up into the air.
Goodbye, my unintended. Go to heaven.
Catwoman goes higher and higher into the air until she finally releases herself and falls into a rooftop greenhouse. Catwoman sits up from a bed of flowers and lets out an almighty scream that smashes all the glass in the greenhouse around her. It's like, wow, it's impressive. Cut to Batman landing his gliding wings and falling so the glider transitions back into his cape. Pretty cool shot. Oswald is with a group of people making his way to an Oswald Cobblepot caravan. Inside the caravan is a little kiddie ride type Batmobile, all hooked up to a bunch of wires. Oswald starts up the kiddie Batmobile.
It looks pretty cool, that kitty Batman.
It does. I've actually put the notes. I actually really like it. I wish I could have one.
Yeah, me too.
It's awesome. Cut to Batman getting back to the Batmobile. A mob of people are chasing them. It includes civilians and cops. So a few clowns running around make people run and cower, but when they think Batman has killed someone, they think it's best to confront him. Yeah. These people.
Let me get this straight. You think your boss is a guy who runs around beating up people with his bare hands, and your thoughts is to blackmail him?
I love that line from Dark Knight.
Yeah.
The accountant, he's like, I didn't actually think about that. Yeah. Love that, it's so good.
Yeah.
Batman jumps into the Batmobile. Oswald appears on the Batmobile's video screen.
Don't adjust your sets. Welcome to the Oswald Cobblepot School of Driving. Gentlemen, start your screaming.
The Batmobile takes off with Batman unable to control it. It drives through the crowd that was chasing him. Luckily, no one was killed.
Very luckily.
Oswald then pumps up the accelerator, causing the Batmobile to go faster and faster through the streets.
Maybe this is a bad time to mention this, but my license is expired.
The Batmobile rams right through a police car that pulls out onto the street. Batman pops a CD into his recording device and starts recording Oswald. Then Batman starts pulling off pieces of the roof of the Batmobile, looking for the device that is remote controlling the Batmobile.
Just relax. I'll take care of the squealing, wretched, pinhead puppets of Gotham.
The Batmobile then turns onto a street with a traffic jam. The Batmobile runs through all the cars, flipping them to the side. Oswald is jumping around on the mini Batmobile. The caravan is rocking back and forth. People going past must be thinking, ugh, gross.
If the vans are rockin', come a-knockin'. You gotta admit, I've played this stinking city like a harp from hell.
The Bat computer locates the remote device on the underside of the Batmobile. Batman punches a hole through the floor as the Batmobile continues its reckless drive through Gotham.
Helpless old lady at 12 o'clock. Hi.
Batman grabs the device off the bottom of the Batmobile, breaks the device, then stops just before hitting the old lady. The brakes on the Batmobile are amazing.
Yes.
Oswald jumps around in frustration, trying to recontrol the Batmobile. Batman punches and destroys the video screen. Police cars chase the Batmobile while a narrow alleyway is up ahead. Batman flicks a switch, but nothing happens. That's funny. Batman keeps flickering the switch, trying to get it to work, but still nothing happens. The narrow alleyway is getting closer and closer. Alright, now I'm a little worried. Because he actually turns back into Bruce when he says that.
Oh.
When he's really starting to get worried, he's like, alright, now I'm starting to get worried. Batman flicks it one last time. The switch finally activates. The Batmobile sheds a whole bunch of parts and transforms into a narrow missile-shaped car. The missile car shoots through the narrow alleyway. The cop tries to follow but hits the sides of the buildings.
What a putz.
That cop is probably dead. I'll wait for it though. Two other cop cars then ram into their other car. Okay, those other cars had plenty of time to stop. The police in these movies seriously concern me. I mean, the officers in Police Academy do a better job.
Yeah.
Thus, Jeff, sees the end of my favourite Batmobile.
Yep.
The missile mobile drives away. Cut to Oswald and Max about to walk up on the stage for a speech.
So he survived. What's the worry? He didn't even lose a limb, an eyeball, bladder control. The point is, listen to them. They've lost faith in all symbols. They're ready to bond with you. The icon of the future, if it works, don't fix it. We'll celebrate tonight. My annual Max Parade Ball. Shrek and Cobblepot. The Visionary Alliance. Come on.
I like how when he goes Visionary Alliance, just the Richard Nixon peace sign. I'm like, oh. Oswald steps out onto the cheering crowd. I'll stomp on you. No, Oswald steps out to the cheering crowd and approaches the microphones. Oswald starts to make his speech about the mayor not protecting the city. Selena is there watching on with anger in her eyes.
He, believing in a man, a Batman, a ticking time bomb of a costumed freak.
Bruce and Alfred are watching in the library of Wayne Manor.
Our primary concern is this ghastly, grotesque, but let's not forget about repairing the Batmobile. There's security to consider. It's not as though we can take it to any old Joe's body shop, can we, sir?
Bruce rolls up his sleeve, readying to put his arm into the fish tank. Security? Who let Vicky Vale into the Batcave? I'm sitting there working, and I turn around, and there she is. Oh, hi, Vic. Come on in. Interesting that Tim Burton put this in. Must have realized that Vicky Vale in the Batcave was a strange and silly decision, so he decided to address it. Bruce puts his hand in the fish tank and hits a button on a small version of Wayne Manor in the tank. The lights turn on inside the little model. This opens up a sarcophagus with spikes inside.
Yeah, it's got a proper name, but for some reason at the moment I can't remember it. It's definitely got a proper name. Oh, the Iron Maiden.
Is it an Iron Maiden, is it?
I'm pretty certain.
Ready?
I think I'll take the stairs.
Bruce goes into the sarcophagus. When the doors close, the spikes disappear, and Bruce slides down a tunnel. A little nod to the 66 Batman, I believe. Bruce and Alfred start powering up the Batcave. You can hear Oswald's speech still going on via a TV. Alfred sits down and puts on some headphones. He has some type of audio equipment in front of him. They attempt to jam the audio frequency of the speakers at Oswald's speech. Don't think this was possible in 1992, as there's no Wi-Fi, of course. Everything was analog, so how can they tap into frequencies? I don't know, maybe radio signals? Bruce successfully jams the audio frequency. Oh, there you go. Batman always finds a way. Bruce signals to Alfred that he's about to drop his new CD. He puts out the CD and I'm like, I can't wait to hear it. It will have all the big hits, such as, Who am I? I'm Batman. Also, you want to get...
I am the Knight.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Excuse me, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And many more. Bruce inserts the CD into the Batcave player. It's the audio recording of Oswald when he was controlling the Batmobile. Bits of the recording can now be heard over the speaker at Oswald's speech. Lines like, Hey, just relax. I'll take care of the squealing, wretched pinhead puppets of Gotham. And, you've got to admit, I've played this stinking city like a harp from hell. Bruce just puts the second quote on repeat. The crowd turns on Oswald and starts booing. Alfred smiles with great satisfaction of exposing Oswald. He's like, big smile. Max decides to leave the stage as the boos continue. Selena walks away. As Max is leaving, he turns and gives Oswald a, I guess it's over, shrug of the shoulders. Like, alright then. The crowd start to throw vegetables, eggs, and possibly fruit at Oswald. Oswald opens up his umbrella for protection.
I actually agree to this. Why is there always someone who brings eggs and tomatoes to a speech?
It is weird and also a waste of food.
Yep, good food too.
It doesn't look rotten or anything, so.
Nope.
Oswald starts to fire bullets out of his umbrella at the crowd. Must be a machine gun umbrella. I do like all his different umbrellas though. I like how he has all these different ones, different weapons. It's cool.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oswald manages not to hit a single person though, as they're not blanks, as you can see bullets bouncing off the podium in front of him. He misses everyone. Oswald belly flops into the crowd, picks himself up and runs away. Oswald then runs as police chase him. How the hell the police cannot catch him is weird because he's not exactly built for speed.
Yeah.
Instead, the stupid cops shoot from afar at him. God forbid someone doesn't pop their head out of the trees going, "What's going on?" Oh! Oswald even runs through some people who could have been shot by the reckless cops. Oswald then jumps off a bridge into the icy cold water to escape the cops. It looks like the same bridge his parents dumped him off all those years ago. Might be symbolising Oswald's rebirth into Penguin. Cut to Oswald driving his big rubber ducky through the sewer. He heads back to his sewer headquarters under the zoo, where the penguins are all waiting for him. Some of the Red Triangle gang are there too. Great speech, Oswald. Oswald hits him over the head with an umbrella.
My name is not Oswald. It's Penguin. I am not a human being. I am an animal.
Nice reverse quote of the Elephant Man there.
Where are my lists? Bring me the names. It's time. These are the names of the firstborn sons of Gotham City. Just like I was. And like me, a terrible fate awaits them. Tonight, while their parents party, they'll be dreaming away in their safe cribs, their soft beds, and we will snatch them, carry them into the sewer, and toss them into a deep, dark, watery grave.
Penguin? I mean, killing sleeping children, isn't that a little,
What, is that where you draw the line, Mr. Fat Clown, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Fat Clown. Penguin looks at the fat clown, pulls out an umbrella, and shoots the fat clown dead with a shotgun umbrella.
No, it's a lot.
Penguin kicks Fat Clown's body down a ramp and into the icy cold water.
I am brutal.
It's pretty brutal though. Later on when he's like, was at the bottom of the pool and like Max grabs the gun, I'm like, oh, he's still there.
Yep.
Cut to Alfred and Bruce in the Batcave. Bruce is working on the Batmobile. It's like, he's trying to fix it. Is he trying to fix it or is he changing the Batmobile into that Bat ski boat?
No, he's trying to fix it.
I wasn't sure the Bat ski boat was something he actually built from the parts.
Mr. Wayne, just a reminder that tonight is that loathsome party hosted by the odious Mr. Shrek. May we RSVP in the resoundingly negative?
Not interested. Alfred tears the invitation in half. Although, Selena Kyle might be there. Alfred just gives Bruce a, you've got to be kidding me. Look, I just tore up the invitation look in his face.
You schmuck of a man.
Time to tape it back together, Jeeves. You see what the reference to?
Yeah.
The Batman TV show. Cut to the Max Grade Ball. There is a giant white cat head hanging from the roof. The band is playing an instrumental version of either You Can't Touch This or Super Freak. Without the words, it's impossible to tell because it's the same tune.
Funny.
Bruce is walking around looking for Selena. Bruce is just wearing a suit while everyone else is in costume. Max comes up to Bruce in a big Arabian-looking hat and a mask attached to a selfie stick.
Ingenious costume. Let me guess. Trust fund goody-goody?
Feeling good, huh? Yeah. Well, you almost made a monster of the mayor of Gotham City.
I am the light of the city, and I am its mean, twisted soul. Does it matter who's mayor?
Does to me.
Yawn.
Max walks away. Bruce then sees Selena walking down the stairs. Listen, I'm sorry about yesterday, but I had a pretty big deal come through. Fall through, actually. It's okay. I had to go home and feed my cat. Bruce and Selena start dancing. Bruce asks why Selena came tonight. She says him first. Bruce says how he came to see Selena. Selena says she wished she could say the same, but she came for Max. What do you mean? You? Not you and Max. Selena flings her head back in a ridiculous laughter. Me and Max? No. Selena bends down and grabs something from her legging strap. It's a pistol. No, this and Max. Now, don't give me a killing Max won't solve anything speech, because it will. Aren't you tired of the sanctimonious robber baron always coming out on top when he should be 6 feet under? I'm sure you have problems with your boss, but I mean, who the hell do you think you are? Sorry, I went all Vince McMahon there.
Yeah, what the hell?
Let's go Vince McMahon. I'm sure you had problems with your boss, but I mean, who the hell do you think you are? I don't know anymore, Bruce. Selena starts to lose it. Bruce and Selena kiss. Weird time to do it, Bruce.
Yeah.
Selena looks up and sees mistletoe. A kiss under the mistletoe. You know, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. A kiss can be deadlier. if you mean it. Bruce takes a step back from Selina, both coming to the realization that they're Batman and Catwoman. Oh my god. Does this mean we have to stop fighting? Let's go outside. As Bruce and Selina head for the door, there is an explosion on the middle of the dance floor. Bruce gets up from the explosion.
Is it murder on the dance floor?
We better not kill the groove.
Ah.
Bruce gets up from the explosion looking to see what just happened. Selina gets up as well. Max goes to make sure Chip is okay. What a stupid name. Penguin comes up from the floor in his rubber ducky. He has 2 penguins with him that have rockets strapped to them. I'm like, they're just hanging out. They're just there to hang out. They wanted to party.
Good stuff. You didn't invite me, so I crashed.
Good pun there, I like it. Penguin says how his troops are going around town taking all the firstborn sons. Penguin has personally come for Gotham's favourite son, Mr. Chip Shriek.
Yeah, that's the favorite son. You're coming with me, you big white dope, to die way down in the sewer.
Max convinces Penguin to take him instead. This is the first selfless thing Max has done in the whole movie. Or maybe, just maybe, Max believes that he can talk his way out of dying. If Chip was to take him, Chip would be dead. He couldn't survive on his own.
Well, no, because, I mean, if you think about it, earlier on, he is saying that he's leaving it all for Chip.
Because he wants his legacy to be better. His name can live on, pretty much. Penguin tells Max to get in the duck. Penguin and Max go down in the sewers. Cut to Arctic World. Penguin has Max in a cage hanging from a ceiling. Penguin talks to Max saying how it's going to be good killing all these kids. Penguin shows Max a spinning umbrella that has little cute animals hanging off it. He'll use this to lure the kids into the water. Max gets to watch them sink into a deep puddle of industrial byproducts. Then Max will join them. Cut to the circus man with the monkey driving around this ridiculous circus train tractor that has several caged carriages attached to it. Members of the Red Triangle gang start loading babies and toddlers into the cages.
Sounds like the child catcher.
It does. It reminds me of the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. This whole thing reminds me of that part.
Yeah.
It just screams child catcher. He used to scare the crap out of me as a kid.
Yep.
The circus man with the monkey turns to tell them to hurry up. When he turns back, though, he sees a silhouette of a large bat. Batman grabs him right out of the driver's seat. Cut back to Penguin in the sewer, dancing with the kitty umbrella. The monkey shows up. It gives a note to Penguin.
Not the monkey. No. Dear Penguin, the children regret they are unable to attend. Batman. Arrgh.
Cut to a clown putting a spotlight on Penguin. He's standing in front of an audience of penguins.
My dear penguins, we stand on a great threshold. It's okay to be scared. Many of you won't be coming back. Thanks to Batman, the time has come to punish all God's children. First, second, third, and fourth born. Why be biased? Male and female. Hell, the sexes are equal with their erogenous zones blowing sky high. Forward march. The liberation of Gotham has begun.
The penguins start diving into the water, all with rockets strapped to their backs and wearing funny little metal hats so they can be remotely controlled.
Is hilarious.
Cute little hat. Cut to Batman driving through the sewers in some sort of sewer boat vehicle. It is known, I looked it up, it is known as the Bat Ski Boat.
Cool.
When you see Batman inside, you can also see water spraying on the windows behind him. It's a cool effect. Alfred is in the Batcave trying to set up the signal jammer and keeping video surveillance on the army of penguins.
The penguins are moving above ground.
Batman has a big noisy radar that will irritate the crap out of me. The penguins move along the streets of Gotham. Lucky the streets seem to be pretty much abandoned for some reason.
Yeah.
The penguin army are approaching the launch destination of Gotham Plaza, 1 minute until ignition. Alfred tells Batman that the penguins are converging on Gotham Plaza. Cue the noisy radio again. Some of the penguins are in the sewers of Batman and start firing missiles at the Batski boat. But Batman uses the outside fins of the vehicle to spin around the sewer walls, avoiding the missiles. 30 seconds until ignition. Estimated casualties after launch, 100,000 people. The penguins have reached Gotham Square. I like how there is a mixture of different penguins. Not all of them are the same. Some are like emperor penguins, some are like little blue penguins. Yeah. It's really cool. 15 seconds until ignition.
Ready when you are, sir.
I've got the coordinates. 10, 9, 8, 7. Penguins prepare for launch. All right, Let's turn them around.
Yes, sir.
Alfred jams the Penguin's signal and turns the Penguins around. Penguin is being told that something is wrong. Something has jammed the signal. They seem to be turning around. Max starts to get the monkey's attention as the monkey has the keys to his cage. Penguin is informed that there is something coming his way. Very large. Very fast. Alright, I'm honing in on the signal's origin. As the bat ski boat approaches, Penguin's henchmen all start to scurry away, fleeing, knowing that they are all in trouble. Even the lady of the dog bails. See her like disappear from the light. It's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Penguin gets in his rubber ducky vehicle and takes off up the stairs. As the duck also has wheels. A very efficient vehicle. I wonder where he got it. Batman can see on his radar that the Penguin is on the move, so he turns off into an exit pipe that launches the Batski boat up into the air and crashing through the Arctic World sign and into Penguin's ducky vehicle. The duck's head breaks off. Batman exits out of the Batski boat and goes looking for Penguin in the wreckage. Penguin jumps onto Batman from behind. Penguin pulls a knife from his umbrella, so Batman pulls out the remote for the Penguins. Batman looks around, which causes Penguin to. All his Penguins are surrounding them. Penguin swipes at the Batman with his umbrella, knocking the remote out of Batman's hands. Batman knocks Penguin down. Penguin scurries over to the remote and presses the button. Batman hardly fights him because he wants him to press the remote. He's baiting him to do it. The Penguins shoot their missiles, but a group of bats come bursting out and surround Penguin. He tries to fight them off, but loses his balance and falls down to the shallow waters below, just like what happened to the Ice Princess. Isn't karma a bad thing? The missiles from the Penguins start destroying the old frozen zoo. The monkey gets scared from the explosions and jumps onto the cage that Max is on. Max grabs the key off the monkey and unlocks the cage. As Max is escaping the cage, his foot gets lassoed by a whip and he is pulled into the water. As Max is struggling underwater, he sees a gun next to the now sunken body of the fat clown from before. Max grabs the gun. The zoo continues to blow up with Batman watching. He's just watching like, oh yeah, whoops.
I don't remember requesting the fireworks.
Max is yanked out of the water by Catwoman.
I don't know what you want, but I know I can get it for you, with a minimum of fuss.
Catwoman cracks a whip at Max. I do like how her hair is hanging out of the mask now.
Money, jewels, a very big ball of string.
Max tries to run, but Catwoman whips him back towards her. Your blood, Max.
My blood? I gave it at the office.
Batman enters from above, watching Catwoman and Max. A half pint. I'm talking gallons.
Let's make a deal. Other than my blood, what can I do for you?
Sorry, Max. A die for a die. Batman comes flying foxing down towards them.
You're not just saving a life. You're saving...
Batman palms Max in the face and pushes him away. Shut up. You're going to jail. Don't be naive. The law doesn't apply to people like him or us. Wrong on both counts. Why are you doing this? Let's just take him to the police. Then we can go home together. I wouldn't, Batman. They're awfully stupid, those police. Selina, don't you see? We're the same. We're the same, split right down the center. Then a god-awful moment in Batman history happens. Batman has been wearing eye makeup right through the last movie and this movie. We all know it, and it's obvious. But when Batman's about to rip off his cowl here, they remove the makeup.
Just like with the Phantom, which you've already done and people have listened to.
Yep. I like Tim Burton films, but this move was disrespectful to the intelligence of the audience. Anyway, Batman removed his cowl, exposing his Bruce Wayne face.
His Bruce Wayne face, not his other face.
Not his Hugh Jackman face. Maybe he took it off and it's Hugh Jackman like old Deadpool.
Yeah.
Selina, please. Bruce, I would love to live with you in your castle forever. Just like in a fairy tale. Bruce puts his hands out to grab Selina's shoulder, but she swipes it at Bruce's face, scratching him. It's quite a nasty scratch too. I just couldn't live with myself, so don't pretend this is a happy ending.
Selina? Selina Kyle?
Selina removes her mask.
You're fired. Or if I was to do it the other way, you're fired. You're fired. And Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed up like Batman?
Because he is Batman, you moron.
Was.
Max pulls out the handgun and shoots Bruce. He should have He should have gone for the head.
Yep, that's it. I'm out. See ya. Don't.
You killed me. The Penguin killed me. Batman killed me. That's 3 lives down. You got nothing there to finish me off?
One way to find out.
Max shoots Selena twice. 4, 5. Still alive. Max shoots Selena 2 more times. 6, 7. All good girls go to heaven. Max tries to shoot again, but the gun is empty. Selena starts laughing. 2 lives left. I think I'll save one for next Christmas. Bruce starts to get back up. But in the meantime, Selena pulls out the taser from the beginning of the film. Zzz, zzz, zzz. How about a kiss, Anti-Claus? Selena kisses Max with a taser in between their mouths, and Selena holding onto a wire of a power generator. There is an explosion from that power generator. Penguin re-emerges from the water, black-looking blood oozing from his nose. Penguin walks towards his barrel of umbrellas. You can hear him wheezing for air. More and more black blood starts gushing out of his nose and mouth. Bruce uncovers Max's now crispy body.
Ew, yummy.
This would be terrifying to see as a kid.
Yep, if I hadn't seen Indiana Jones first. Ugh.
But Selena's body is nowhere to be found. Penguin grabs an umbrella from the barrel, which Bruce hears, and he turns around to face Penguin. Penguin pulls out the wrong umbrella. Instead of being a weaponized one, it's the umbrella he was going to lure the kids into the water with.
I picked a cute one. Oh, the heat's getting to me. I'll murder you momentarily. But first, I need a cool drink of ice water.
Penguin falls down face first, dead. Some sad funeral usher penguins come walking out and guide Penguin's body into the water. It's like they're waiting for him to die, and then they all started coming out like a ceremony.
Yep.
This bit doesn't look great, as you can see that the robotic penguins hardly touch Penguin, let alone do enough to drag him into the water.
Yeah.
The music is beautiful though.
Yeah.
Cut to Alfred driving Bruce around in the snowy streets of Gotham. Bruce sees a silhouette of what looks to be Catwoman. Bruce tells Alfred to stop the car. Bruce gets out and looks in the alley for Selena, but instead finds your cat. Bruce picks up the cat and heads back into the back seat of his car.
Well, come what may, Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne.
Merry Christmas, Alfred. Goodwill towards men and women. The car continues to drive along, but the shot starts to head up the buildings and onto the rooftops. The back signal lights up the sky, then the back of Catwoman's head pops into frame. End of movie.
And
There we go. We got there. We got through the end.
trying to keep the penguin's voice was the hardest. And then remembering Max's voice.
The hardest voice for me was actually Bruce, because I did try to make it so it was slightly different from the narrator, but I wanted it to be more my normal voice. My God, it was hard though. Right, Jeff, let's go to our ratings, shall we?
Nobody does it, Bennett.
Right, Jeff, so we've done our ratings now for Batman Returns. Let's start with story. What have you given the story out of 5?
2.
2 out of 5? Oh, wow. Oof.
I'm just being mean. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5. It's a pretty good story, but I just felt there were certain parts that could have been a bit better. Like, they didn't really explain why the circus hooked up with the penguin. They were just there as goons for him, basically.
Well, they kind of do with the, like, when he's researching the Triangle Gang, but they don't really give you that much information.
No.
Well, I've given it a 4 out of 5. Again, I haven't given it 5 out of 5 because there are some unanswered questions, like how does Catwoman actually, well, they don't explain how she gets the skills and how she can survive bullet shots.
People can survive bullet shots. It depends on how badly they're shot and where they're shot as to how.
But she fell off a roof first with no protection, survived that.
Got slowed down by hitting things. That can slow you down and stop you from dying.
But she wouldn't walked away and be able to backflip the next week. She fell into a greenhouse that didn't get any glass or something in her and didn't hurt her. She got shot 4 or 5 times by Max at the end and still keep walking towards him, not on the ground in immense pain. And there's also this, after the penguin doesn't become mayor, there's a whole bit where he takes the kids, and I thought it was a bit ludicrous and stupid.
Yeah, that That went dark real quick.
And it's like really like quick too. It was like, I'm taking your kids. And Batman's like, no, you're not. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was it. It's like they needed to add on an extra 20 minutes, so they made it like the mayor thing, not the last part of it.
Yeah.
That's why I get it 4 out of 5, not 5 out of 5, because although I've, like I said, a lot of problems there, I do really enjoy the movie. So 4 out of 5. So for acting, Jeff, I've given it a 5 out of 5.
Nice.
Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Keaton, Michael Goff, even Christopher Walken. I love them all in this. They're great. Michelle Pfeiffer is the best ever Catwoman I've ever seen, by a country mile.
No, Halle Berry.
The way she played not just Catwoman, but the damaged Selena as well, I thought was amazing. Danny DeVito transformed Penguin. I don't look at that and go, wow, that's Danny DeVito. It's a great Danny DeVito performance. I go, damn, that is the Penguin. And yeah, there's been some good performances from other actors as Penguin, especially the Batman. They had Colin Farrell. He's very good in that. Also in the TV show Gotham. The guy who played Penguin in that did a reasonable job, but the fact that they transformed into this kind of like mutant monster, I thought was amazing. So
I gave the acting 4 stars out of 5. Mainly all the reasons you gave, but because of the other characters, I had to go.
like Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon, the Ice Princess, Chip, the mayor, they were all just blah.
Yep. So for how well it holds up, what have you given it, Jeff?
2.
Give it 2?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I really enjoy the movie, but I don't like all the stuff with how they treated Selena. And I don't feel like you could get away with that today. I mean, it was so disgusting. And I hated it because if you watch it as a kid, you're not informed of all these extra bits. So you just see it and then you think, maybe that's how I'm supposed to treat women.
Well, this is the groundbreaking thing, and this thing is the mistake that even the studios made, because McDonald's launched the toys for this and they shouldn't have. This movie isn't for kids. And I think if you're watching it as a kid, then it's a problem from more the parent side of things if they have thoughts like that. So I've given it 5.
But the problem for me is that because of the release of the toys from McDonald's, unless the parents really think it through and watch it for themselves first, then they're not going to know till it gets to a point where it's too late.
No, and as I'm saying, it was a blunder from the studios. They just saw Batman, assumed it was for kids. This definitely was not a kids film. Burton made one for adults. But they marketed it as a kids' film, which was absolutely stupid. But that's why I've given it a 5, because more mature audience should be watching this. And I do believe he does enough to show you this is just almost a caricature cartoon of how he believes the male businessman would actually treat women, and how ludicrous and how absurd these men are. But this is kind of like what was happening. So pointed it out, I think, was a good way of showing you that she was the victim that became more than that, and she became something out of it because of the fact that how she was mistreated. Like in the first movie when Bruce pushes down Vicky and goes, "Shut up, I want to talk for a second," I was like, oof, because it's the hero doing it too. In this film, it was all the bad guys treated this way. Batman did not treat Selena or Catwoman in a way that was disrespectful to women. Did I find? Except for punching her off the roof, but that because she stabbed him. She stabbed him, right? But that's why I think it was the message was trying to get across from Burton was this is how women are being treated, and it's not okay. So that's why I give it a 5. But I can understand why you could give it a 2, because if you don't take it that way, it looks like it's just mistreating women in a huge and horrific way, which I can see both sides, so I can understand both ratings. For music, I've given it 5 out of 5. This is actually my favorite score, not just a Batman score, not just a Danny Elfman score. This is my favorite music soundtrack score of any movie ever.
I thought Jurassic Park was.
Jurassic Park has some good themes,
Yeah.
but the whole entire soundtrack, the whole entire score, Danny Elfman has perfected Batman with this. He has the Penguin theme, which is incredible, Catwoman's theme, that's incredible, the Batman opening theme mixed with Penguin's theme is the best I've ever heard the Batman in much. And just the music that he uses for every scene in this is absolutely top notch. There's never a problem with it that I could find. Yes, I didn't have any pop songs like Prince and anything this time, but I didn't think it needed it.
Nah.
Even though it was pretty cool in the first one.
I think that it worked well with the Joker. I don't think it would have worked well with the Penguin and all that, because the Joker was a completely different type of character. You know, it was more spur of the moment type of what he was doing.
It was also because Tim Burton had more control in Batman Returns than he did in Batman. So if he had a choice in the first Batman, I don't think the Prince songs would have been in there, even though I think it's a good thing they are.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why when Batman Returns came around and they gave him complete control, that's why it's a lot darker as well.
Yeah, but that guy in the nose.
Oh, that's nasty. But yeah, I gave it a 5. What have you given music, sir?
4.
4? Good. Are just some things missing?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the same aspects of it as you did, but I just maybe from the parts that they had in the first movie, it kind of felt like it was missing something like that in the second movie. But, you know, overall, still good. I agree that the Bat theme in this is pretty on point.
Nothing better.
Yeah, except the animated series. It's the only one that really sticks in my head. It's my favourite. It has to be.
Both of them are pretty much hand in hand.
Yep.
So for visuals, how good it looks, what have you given it?
I gave it a 5.
Got a 5?
Considering, you know, what they had to work with back then, it's still really good. It holds up. I really liked the whole visuals of Gotham City.
I've given it a 5 as well. Even in Blu-ray when I watched it, this movie just looks rich. The shots they've taken looks beautiful. Some of the shots, the snow, like the Batmobile, even the snow of Penguin walking up into the grave, and you see everything. Looks amazing. There's no picture, apart from that one where he kind of looks down over the Gotham Plaza and looks kind of meh. Yeah. That's the only shot I ever criticize I can think of in that whole one, and that's not enough to take it off a 5 because everything else just looks absolutely gorgeous. Like even watching the Schumacher ones, they look gorgeous for some reason in 4K. Like some newer movies, yeah, like you say, they might have CGI'd it. If you watch some of the new movies, like the CGI kind of shows up quite badly in 4K.
Yep, it really does. That's, I think, a hole in the armor sort of thing for them.
They get too reliant on it. And the practical effects, so when you see the practical effects from older films, they can absolutely pop sometimes. And this one does it. I think Back to the Future does it quite well as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Just looks beautiful. So, yeah. Right, so we've gone for the totals now. So for story, you gave it 3.5 out of 5. I gave it 4. For acting, you gave it 4 and I gave it 5. For how well it holds up, you gave it 2 and I gave it 5. For music, you gave it 4 and I gave it 5. And for visuals, how good it looks, you gave it 5 and I gave it 5. You gave it a grand total of 18.5 stars out of 25.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And I gave it 24 stars out of 25. I love this film. So I've done the totals now for Batman Returns there, Jeff. We've given it a 42.5 out of 50 stars. This, let's say, is my favourite Batman film of all time. So the fact that it's actually below Batman 89. Batman 89 got 44.5 stars and this got 42.5 stars.
Oh, it's only off by 2 points. Only you could have swayed me from my 2 on the story, eh?
So 42.5 stars, though, it's actually equal with Boogie Nights, which Boogie Nights is in 6th place at the moment. So it's in 6th equal now with Boogie Nights, Batman Returns. So we've got Jurassic Park with a perfect 50 stars. It's a perfect movie. It can't be defeated. It can only be matched. We've got Jumanji in 2nd place of 47.5 stars. Then, in the 3rd equal, we have Batman and Big and 44.5 stars. With Spider-Man from 2002, the Raimi one, with 43.5 stars. Follow that by Boogie Nights and Batman Returns with 42.5 stars. And Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on 40. 42.5 stars at 6th equal. And out of, 14 movies or 15 movies? It's pretty damn good. Much better than Ghost last time, because Ghost, in our last review, got the worst score out of any of our MRU. Our lowest before Ghost last week was 33 stars. Ghost got 23 stars out of 50.
Whoa!
So I'm just glad Batman didn't get that.
Punching.
So Batman got 42.5 stars out of 50, which I'm okay with. And like I say, this is the reason why you have 2 hosts, because there might be someone who absolutely loves a movie and it might be more biasing because their love might overshadow exactly how good the film actually is. So by doing this, it kind of has balanced it out to where it probably should be, because most people, I'm one of the minority when I say Batman Returns is my favourite. Hardly anyone thinks that. Most people even agree that the first Batman is actually better than Batman Returns. So going by this, we're going by the majority, probably, of what people think.
What I really liked about Batman Returns and stood out to me is they didn't kill off Catwoman. It's one thing that I've always been annoyed with Batman movies. In fact, any hero movie in general is, I believe the reason they do it the way they do it is so that they don't have to add them into the story later on. they just kill them off. Don't put them in jail, kill them off. That way you don't have to bring them back. You don't have people going, oh, but what about the Joker? He's in jail. He could have broken out if the Penguin wanted him to, and blah, 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 blah. No, you couldn't have. He's dead.
Well, it's funny too, because I don't know for sure, but I think that last scene with Bruce and Alfred and stuff in the car, and also Catwoman looking up at the bat signal, I don't think any of that was actually in the original film. I think they added in afterwards because one of the reasons you said that they didn't want Selena to die, because if you don't have that end scene, it looks like she probably died. It doesn't prove it because she disappears.
With the electrocuted.
With electrocuted, she could have well died. Yeah, so people didn't want that ending. They wanted to be more hopeful that she's still out there.
I believe that might be it, because I really just don't remember that scene at the end. I don't know if you remember when we were watching it together. I was very confused by it.
I know it was always in the film. I just think original test audiences didn't like it, so they added it in afterwards. So it's always been in the film we've seen, but it wasn't originally in the options, I don't think.
Okay.
Also, the fact that we was very, very close to the fact that we may not have seen Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, because she wasn't originally cast as Selena Kyle Catwoman. It was Annette Bening. She was originally cast, but she got pregnant just before the shoot. So she couldn't actually play Catwoman, so they had to rush and find someone else. And they got Michelle Pfeiffer, and my God, she's now, I say, one of the most iconic performances of Batman ever. I'd put her Catwoman, I'd say, up with a Heath Ledger Joker of how iconic they are. Obviously, Jack Nicholson's Joker is great as well, but I think Heath Ledger's one is, when I think of a Joker as the best, I'd say Heath Ledger, but when I think Catwoman, I think Michelle Pfeiffer.
I think one of the things I've always liked about Heath Ledger's Joker is that he didn't rely so heavily on the laugh. He had a laugh, but it wasn't...
He was just, his whole persona was just menacing. Rather, I think with Jack Nicholson, it was the over-the-top theatrics that kind of made him. Which is not a bad thing, it's just a different thing. If you like what you hear or have a question for us, who knows, it might be about Batman Returns. Well, you can contact us through Nobody Does It Bennett's Facebook page, or by hitting us up on the Twitter at NobodyDI_Bennett. You can also email us at NobodyDoesItBennett@outlook.com. That's a Bennett with 2 N's and 2 T's. Nobody Does It Bennett is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. You can also find it on the website NobodyDoesItBennett.buzzsprout.com.
Nobody does it, Bennett.
Jeff, do you have any closing comments about Batman Returns?
No, not really. I feel like I've said what I wanted to say. Like I said, it's not that I didn't really enjoy the movie. I just felt that, those bits with Selena Kyle were a bit too much for me.
That's fair.
But, good on her for getting the power back, sort of thing. I don't think you could classify her as a bad guy.
I think she's misguided.
She blew up things, but she didn't let anyone get hurt. And she was really upset that he killed the Ice Princess.
She has a conscience still.
Yeah.
She was trying to be bad, but because she thought maybe that's the only way she can get what she wanted, but then she realized her conscience was getting in the way as well. Batman Returns, for me, is still my personal favorite live-action Batman movie ever. Yes, this includes the new Robert Pattinson one. The Robert Pattinson one was good, but this one's better. While I really like the Nolan Batman movies and the Batman from 2022, there is still something about the zany and visually breathtaking comic book feel of Batman Returns. Mix this in with the phenomenal performances from Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer, as well as Keaton playing Batman in such a quiet and menacing way, and you have something very special. Danny Elfman's score for Batman Returns is my favourite score from any film ever. The Batman theme at the start blended with the Penguin theme is magic. Penguin's themes in general are magnificent, and Catwoman's theme is also something dazzling. Batman Returns won't be everyone's cup of tea. I've mentioned some of the reasons, it might be why, as it does have some seriously dark and twisted elements.
Yes, that is true.
And others will say that other movies were more serious and less goofy, but for me, this one is the one I love the most. Oh, and Jeff, I love the Batmobile too.
Chip, it's such a stupid name.
Thank you, Tim Burton, for making my favourite Batman film.
Thank you, Michael Keaton, for making a really good Batman.
And thank you for Michael Keaton for coming back and playing Batman once again. I look forward to it. Thank you, Jeff, for doing this special podcast with me today. I'm honoured to have you back for this monumental occasion.
Yeah, we definitely should celebrate by watching another Batman film of some kind or TV show.
Maybe. And thank you for listening. Remember, some others may do it better, but nobody does it, Bennett. Take care.
Peace out.
It's the end of the show. And now it's time to go. Don't be sad, just be glad. Then nobody does it, Bennett.